A very interesting United States top 10 coin, the 1983 one-dime coin with the P mint mark, and we will discover its real value in today's market, especially when the coin is in bad condition. The 1983 dime is part of the famous Roosevelt Dimes series, which was introduced in 1946 to honor the former U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His portrait appears on the front of the coin, and this design has remained in use for many decades. The coin was produced by the United States Mint, and the P mint mark indicates that it was minted in Philadelphia. This is important because Philadelphia coins did not always carry a mint mark in earlier years, but by 1983, the P mint mark had become standard. The coin itself is small but carries a lot of history. It has a diameter of 17.9 millimeters and weighs about 2.27 grams. The composition is copper-nickel clad, which means it does not contain any silver. This is a very important detail because many collectors look for silver coins for their intrinsic value, but the 1983 dime does not have any precious metal content. The front of the coin shows Roosevelt's portrait, while the back features a torch in the center, along with an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Now let's focus on the condition of the coin, which plays the biggest role in determining its value. A coin in bad condition usually means it has been heavily circulated. You may see scratches, worn-out details, fading of the design, or even damage like bending or discoloration. In such condition, most of the fine details of Roosevelt's face may not be clearly visible, and the design on the reverse side may also look weak or flattened. When it comes to market value, a 1983 P dime in bad condition is generally very common. Millions of these coins were produced, and many are still found in circulation today. Because of this high supply and the lack of silver content, the value remains very low. In today's market, a heavily worn 1983 P dime is usually worth between 10 cents and 30 cents. In most cases, it is simply worth its face value, which is just 10 cents. Collectors usually look for coins that are in excellent or uncirculated condition, or coins that have rare errors. For example, if a 1983 P dime had a minting error such as a double strike, off-center strike, or missing design elements, it could be worth much more. However, in bad condition without any unique error, the coin does not attract serious collectors. Another important point to understand is that condition grading matters a lot in coin collecting. Coins are graded on a scale from poor condition to mint state. A coin in poor or bad condition falls at the lowest end of this scale, which means it has lost most of its collectible appeal. Even though the coin is old enough to be considered vintage by some people, it is not rare enough to have high demand in the market. Next coin, the 2001 dime coin with the D mint mark, and we will also look at its value even when the coin is in bad condition. This coin belongs to the famous Roosevelt Dimes series, which features Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front side. His portrait has been used on the dime since 1946 to honor his leadership and his connection to the March of Dimes campaign. On the reverse side of the coin, you will find a torch in the center, along with olive and oak branches, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. The D mint mark on this coin tells us that it was minted at the Denver Mint in the United States. In the year 2000, the Denver Mint produced a very large number of these dimes, which means this coin is extremely common and can still be found in circulation even today. Because of this high mintage, collectors usually do not consider it rare unless it is in perfect or uncirculated condition. Now let's focus on the condition of the coin. The example we are discussing is in bad condition. This means the coin may have heavy wear, scratches, dull surfaces, or even slight damage. The details on the coin, especially on Roosevelt's face and the torch design on the back, may be faded or hard to see clearly. In coin collecting, condition is one of the most important factors that determines value, and a coin in poor condition will always be worth much less than one in excellent condition. When it comes to value, the 2000 Roosevelt dime in bad condition is generally worth its face value, which is 10 cents or $0.10. These coins are made of a copper core with a nickel outer layer, and they do not contain any silver. Because of this, their metal value is also very low and close to the face value. Even if you try to sell such a coin, most collectors or dealers will not pay more than its face value unless there is something very unusual about it. Some people wonder if there are rare errors or special versions of this coin that could be worth more. While mint errors can happen, they are quite rare, and finding one in poor condition is even less likely to increase value significantly. Most 2000 dimes with heavy wear are simply treated as regular circulation coins. Next coin, the 1962 United States 1 dime with no mint mark, and we will look at its history, condition, and current market value. This coin is part of the Roosevelt Dimes series, featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front. His portrait has appeared on the dime since 1946, honoring his leadership and his connection to the March of Dimes. On the reverse side, the coin displays a torch in the center, along with olive and oak branches, which represent liberty, peace, and strength. Now let's talk about the mint mark. This 1962 dime has no mint mark, which means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time, coins from Philadelphia typically did not carry a mint mark, making this completely normal for the year. What makes the 1962 dime special is its metal composition. Unlike modern dimes, this coin is made of 90% silver and 10% copper. Because of this high silver content, even worn coins have a strong base value tied to the price of silver in today's market. Let's focus on the condition. The coin we are discussing is in good condition, which means it still shows clear details on Roosevelt's portrait and the design on the reverse, although there may be some light wear from circulation. A coin in good condition is always more desirable than one in poor shape, especially when it contains silver. Now the most important part, the value. In today's market, the value of a 1962 no mint mark Roosevelt dime in good condition usually ranges between $2 to $4, depending on the current silver price and the exact level of detail remaining on the coin. The silver melt value alone often keeps it above $2, and collectors may pay slightly more for a well-preserved example. If the coin is in even better condition, such as very fine or uncirculated, the value can increase further. However, in standard good condition, it remains a solid and reliable silver coin with steady demand. It is also important to note that these coins were produced in large numbers, so they are not extremely rare. Their main value comes from the silver content rather than rarity. Still, they are very popular among collectors and investors who are interested in silver coins. In conclusion, the 1962 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark is a great example of how older coins can carry real value, even if they are not rare. Its silver composition, historical significance, and steady demand make it much more valuable than modern dime. Next coin, the 1953 1 dime coin with no mint mark, and we will also look at its value in today's market when the coin is in good condition. This coin is part of the Roosevelt Dimes series, featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front. His portrait was introduced in 1946 to honor his legacy and his efforts in supporting the fight against polio. The reverse side of the coin shows a torch in the center, along with olive and oak branches, which represent liberty, peace, and strength. Now let's talk about the mint mark. This coin has no mint mark, which means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time, coins struck in Philadelphia typically did not carry a mint mark, making this a standard issue from that location. One of the most important things about the 1953 dime is its metal composition. Unlike modern dimes, this coin is made of 90% silver and 10% copper. This silver content gives the coin an intrinsic value that is much higher than its face value, even if the coin has been circulated. Now focusing on the condition. The coin we are discussing is in good condition. This means it has been used in circulation and shows some wear, but the main details are still visible. You can still recognize Roosevelt's profile clearly, and the torch and branches on the reverse side are present, although slightly worn. Condition plays a big role in determining value, but with silver coins like this one, the metal content already guarantees a base value. Even in good condition, collectors and silver buyers are interested in these coins. Now let's talk about the market value. In today's market, a 1953 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark in good condition is typically worth around $2 to $4. This value can change depending on the current silver price, but it usually stays within this range for circulated coins. If the coin is in better condition, such as very fine or uncirculated, its value can increase significantly. It is also important to note that while this coin is not considered extremely rare, its silver content and age make it much more desirable than modern dimes. Many collectors enjoy adding these early Roosevelt dimes to their collections, especially those from the 1950s. Next coin, the 1991 dime coin with the P mint mark, and we will also understand its value even when the coin is in bad condition. This coin is part of the well-known Roosevelt dime series, featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front. His portrait has been used on the dime since 1946 to honor his legacy and his efforts in supporting important public programs. On the reverse side, the coin displays a torch in the center, along with olive and oak branches, which represent liberty, peace, and strength. The P mint mark on this coin stands for the Philadelphia Mint. Before 1980, Philadelphia coins usually did not carry a mint mark, but by 1990, the P mint mark had become standard on dimes produced there. The 1990 P dime was produced in very large numbers, making it a common coin that is still easy to find in circulation today. Now let's talk about the condition. The coin we are discussing is in bad condition, which means it may show heavy wear, scratches, discoloration, and possibly some damage. The fine details on Roosevelt's face and the design elements on the reverse may appear faded or worn down. In coin collecting, condition plays a major role in determining value, and coins in poor condition are usually worth much less than those in better grades. When it comes to value, a 1990 P Roosevelt dime in bad condition is generally worth its face value, which is 10 cents or $0.10. This coin is made from a copper core with a nickel outer layer, and it does not contain any silver. Because of this, its melt value is very low and does not add any significant premium to the coin. Many people wonder if such coins can ever be valuable. The truth is that only coins with rare mint errors or those in uncirculated or mint condition can sell for higher prices. In poor condition, even error coins may lose much of their appeal unless the error is very clear and significant. Overall, the 1990 P1 dime coin may not be valuable in bad condition, but it still represents a piece of everyday currency history in the United States. It reminds us how coins travel through time and hands, carrying stories even when their monetary value remains small. Next coin. Many people still find in old collections the 1966 1 dime with no mint mark, and we will also look at its value in today's market, especially when the coin is in bad condition. This coin is part of the well-known Roosevelt Dimes series, which features Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front. His portrait has appeared on the dime since 1946 to honor his leadership and his connection to the March of Dimes campaign. On the reverse side, the design shows a torch in the center, along with olive and oak branches, representing liberty, peace, and strength. Now, one important detail about the 1966 dime is the absence of a mint mark. During the years 1965 to 1967, the United States removed mint marks from coins to discourage collectors from hoarding them. Because of this, even though these coins were produced at different mints, including Philadelphia, they do not carry any mint mark. So, a 1966 dime without a mint mark is completely normal and not considered rare because of that feature alone. Another very important factor about this coin is its metal composition. Unlike older dimes minted before 1965, the 1966 dime does not contain any silver. It is made from a copper core with a nickel outer layer. This change was made due to rising silver prices, and it significantly affects the coin's value today. Now let's talk about the condition. The coin we are discussing is in bad condition, which means it may have heavy wear, scratches, faded details, and possibly some damage. In such condition, Roosevelt's portrait may appear very smooth, and the reverse design may be difficult to see clearly. Condition is one of the biggest factors in coin collecting, and poor condition coins usually have much lower value. When it comes to the market value today, a 1966 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark in bad condition is generally worth its face value, which is 10 cents or $0.10. Since the coin does not contain silver and is very common, collectors usually do not pay a premium for it in this condition. In some cases, if the coin is extremely worn or damaged, it may only be useful as regular currency. Next coin. The 1967 United States 1 dime coin with no mint mark, and we will also discuss its value in today's market even when it is in bad condition. This coin is part of the well-known Roosevelt Dimes series, featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front. His portrait was placed on the dime in 1946 to honor his legacy and his efforts in supporting the March of Dimes. On the reverse side, the coin displays a torch in the center, along with an olive branch and an oak branch, which represent liberty, peace, and strength. One interesting thing about the 1967 dime is that it has no mint mark. During the mid-1960s, the United States removed mint marks from coins to discourage coin hoarding during a nationwide coin shortage. So even though this coin may have been produced in places like Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, you will not see any mint mark on it. The 1967 dime is also important because of its composition. Unlike older dimes made before 1965 that contained silver, this coin is made from a copper core with a nickel outer layer. This means it does not have any silver value, which greatly affects its price in the collector market. Now let's talk about the condition. The coin we are discussing is in bad condition, which means it may be heavily worn, scratched, or have faded details. The image of Roosevelt might look smooth, and the design on the reverse could be difficult to see clearly. In coin collecting, condition plays a huge role in determining value, and coins in poor condition usually have much lower demand. So what is the value of a 1967 dime with no mint mark in bad condition today? In most cases, this coin is worth its face value, which is 10 cents or $0.10. Because it is very common and does not contain silver, collectors are generally not willing to pay a premium for it in worn condition. Even dealers typically treat it as regular circulation money. Next coin. The 1983 one-dime coin with the D mint mark, and we will find out how much this coin is worth today, especially when it is in bad condition. This coin is part of the well-known Roosevelt Dimes series, featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front. His portrait has been used on the dime since 1946 as a tribute to his leadership and his efforts in supporting the March of Dimes. On the reverse side, the coin shows a torch in the center, along with an olive branch and an oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength. The D Mint mark on this coin means it was struck at the Denver Mint in the United States. In 1983, the Denver Mint produced a large number of these dimes, which makes them very common in circulation. Even today, many of these coins can still be found in everyday use, especially in lower grades and worn conditions. Now let's talk about the condition of this coin. The example we are discussing is in bad condition. This usually means the coin has heavy wear from circulation, scratches, faded details, and possibly some discoloration. The image of Roosevelt may appear smooth or flattened, and the details on the reverse design may not be very sharp. In coin collecting, condition plays a major role in determining value, and coins in poor condition are usually worth much less than those in uncirculated or mint condition. When it comes to the value of the 1983 D Roosevelt dime in bad condition, it is generally worth its face value, which is 10 cents or $0.10. These coins are made of a copper core with a nickel outer layer and do not contain any silver, unlike dimes minted before 1965. Because of this, the metal value is also very low and does not add any extra worth to the coin. Next coin. The 1995 one-dime coin with the P mint mark, and we will also find out its real market value in today's condition when the coin is in bad shape. This coin is part of the Roosevelt Dimes series and it features Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front side. Roosevelt has appeared on the dime since 1946 as a tribute to his leadership and his connection with the fight against polio through the March of Dimes campaign. The design on the back of the coin includes a torch in the center, with an olive branch and an oak branch on each side, symbolizing peace, strength, and freedom. The P Mint mark on this coin means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint in the United States. By 1995, the Philadelphia Mint was producing huge quantities of dimes for everyday circulation, so this coin is very common and easy to find even today in pocket change or old coin jars. Now let's talk about the condition. In this case, we are looking at a coin in bad condition. This means the coin may have heavy wear from circulation, scratches, dull surfaces, and loss of fine details. Roosevelt's face may look flat or almost invisible in some areas, and the torch and branches on the back may also be worn down. Coins in this condition are usually considered heavily circulated and not attractive to collectors. When it comes to value, the 1995 P Roosevelt dime in bad condition is usually worth only its face value, which is 10 cents or $0.10. This is because the coin is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition and does not contain any silver. Its metal value is also very low, so it does not bring any extra melt value beyond its face value in normal market conditions. Even though mint errors can sometimes increase a coin's value, the 1995 P dime is not known for major valuable errors, especially in worn condition. So unless you find a rare minting mistake in very good condition, this coin will remain a standard circulation piece. In conclusion, the 1995 P1 dime coin may not be valuable in bad condition, but it is still a part of everyday American history and shows how billions of coins have moved through the economy over time. Every coin has a story, even if its monetary value is very small. Next coin. The 1995 1 dime coin with the D mint mark, and we will also discuss its current market value when the coin is in bad condition. This coin is part of the long-running Roosevelt Dimes series, which features Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front side. Roosevelt was the 32nd President of the United States and is honored on this coin because of his leadership during a very important time in American history and his connection to the fight against polio through the March of Dimes campaign. The design of the dime has remained almost unchanged for decades, making it one of the most recognizable coins in American circulation. On the reverse side of the coin, you will find a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, along with an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch representing strength. These simple but powerful symbols make the dime more than just small change, it is also a piece of national identity. The 1995 D Mint mark tells us that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint in the United States. In 1995, the Denver Mint produced millions of Roosevelt Dimes, which means this coin is very common and widely found even today in pocket change, old collections, and coin jars. Because of its high mintage, it is not considered rare in normal circulated condition. Now let's talk about the condition. The coin we are focusing on today is in bad condition. This means it may show heavy signs of circulation such as scratches, discoloration, worn-out details, and a loss of sharp features. In many cases, Roosevelt's face may look flat, and the torch and branches on the back may be difficult to see clearly. Coins in this condition are usually considered heavily circulated or even damaged if they have bends or corrosion. When it comes to value, the 1995 D Roosevelt dime in bad condition is usually worth its face value, which is $0.10. Because this coin contains no silver and is made from a copper and nickel composition, its metal value is also very low and stays very close to its face value. In today's market, most dealers and collectors will not pay extra for a heavily worn example unless it has a very unusual mint error. There are some rare error versions of Roosevelt Dimes, such as off-center strikes or double dies, but these are extremely rare and usually only valuable if the coin is in better condition. A damaged or heavily worn coin will almost always lose any potential premium value, even if it has a minor error. So in simple terms, the 1995 D1 dime coin in bad condition is not a valuable coin in terms of money, but it still holds historical and collectible interest for beginners and coin enthusiasts. It represents everyday currency that has passed through millions of hands and still survives as a small piece of American minting history. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coin values, rare coins, and hidden treasures in everyday pocket change, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.